omega 0 does not contain a constant scalar curvature matrix. So this condition then, it says that X is sort of well behaved, and it's well behaved enough to admit the Kähler-Einstein matrix, but still there are classes on it. There are some classes which is really not well behaved, so that they don't admit constant scalar curvature matrix. Okay, so yeah. So omega 0 here is not this one. It's typically very different from the canonical class then. Yeah. Right. So what we're doing then, or what I will do now is to introduce a new type of canonical metrics, and they will not be like Kähler-Einstein metrics, sort of constrained to classes which are proportional to the first Chern class, but they will be defined in terms of condition on the Ricci curvature rather than conditions on the scalar curvature. And they're not really metrics, but they are k-tuples of metrics. And they will be defined by certain coupled Kähler-Einstein equations, which I will get to. So, and the algebraic or complex geometric data we start with is something that we call a decomposition of the first Chern class. So we say that a k-tuple of Kähler classes is a positive or negative decomposition of C1 of X if simply their sum is equal to C1 of X, or the sum is equal to plus or minus C1 of X. Yeah, and then we say that a k-tuple of Kähler metrics omega I is coupled Kähler-Einstein which I will write CKE. So a couple of Kähler metrics satisfy this if the Ricci curvatures all coincide, and equals the sum of the metrics, or possibly the plus minus the sum of the metrics. Yeah, Yeah, so these are classes. Yeah, so these tuples, so these are, so this is like, is it clear or? Yeah. Okay, so the Ricci curvatures are always going to be in the first Chern class. So we see that if we have a coupled Keller-Einstein tuple, then this is always going to define a decomposition of the first Chern class. So we get this, from this equation we get this cohomological condition on the classes of omega I that they have to satisfy this equation.
Because you say that you already assume that your C1 is positive or negative.
Yeah, I have.
But you follow from the definition. Yeah. But if you write plus minus and so on, then it makes a lot better sense because it's positive or negative. Yeah. So now it is assumed.
You want me to put plus minus here instead?
Before
in here?
Your scalar classes are here.
Yeah. So you would
have the same equation this time.
So consider some mixed signs there. Like, yeah, that would be really interesting. There is some sort of great difficulties with considering these. I can comment on that in a second, in a while. Okay, but yeah, so now I'm going to present a few of our main theorems then. So as you said there, so this condition, the left-hand side is positive here. So this condition forces the first Chern class to be either positive or negative. So it's still like, it's still not clear. It's still open how to do an analog in the Calabi-Yau case. Perhaps consider some kind of twisted version or something like that. But for now then there's two cases. There's a positive case and a negative case. And our first theorem then is concerned with the negative case then, so when X is of general type, when the first Chern class is negative. So, and it says that if we have a negative decomposition of C1 of X, there is then there is a unique coupled Keller-Einstein tuple omega I such that omega I defines this tuple of class system. And then I'll move straight on to the next theorem, which is concerned with the opposite case when the Fano case, when the first Chern class is positive. So I will begin with a remark here. If X is Keller-Einstein and alpha, and we have a very special decomposition here. So we have a decomposition where each element is proportional to the first Chern class. Then if we take so let's consider the Fano case. if we just take the multiples of the Keller-Einstein metric on X, then we have by homogeneity that the Ricci curvature of those are the same as the Ricci curvature of the Keller-Einstein metric, which is the same as the Keller-Einstein metric, which you can write as this sum. So for these kinds of decompositions, if we're on a Keller-Einstein manifold, we trivially have a Keller-Einstein tuple. It will be unique actually, but it's not clear, but it will be clear. So this gives us existence. So if we and the first Chern class, if we're in the Fano case then. And as long as our decomposition, all the classes in our decomposition lies on this line segment, we know that there is trivially a couple Keller-Einstein tuple on it. Maybe I'll remove this as well.
So, where did you get the last story?
Oh.
I understand the Ricci of lambda I is equal to the scale down scale. Then it's Keller-Einstein.
Yeah, the sum of lambda I should be 1. Yeah. So we should normalize it in that sense.
Yeah. Okay,
or there is some kind of...
Otherwise you have to scale by the sum of lambda I.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. So theory...
I'm sorry, so then just the lambda I divided by the sum of the lambda I is the right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, theorem B then. Is that so this is the Fano case, which then, as expected, it turns out to be a lot harder than the general case, the general type case. So our theorem is that if X is Fano and Keller-Einstein, and the automorphism group is discrete, then any positive decomposition of C1x, which is close enough to this line segment, admits a unique coupled Keller-Einstein tuple.
But is uniqueness general or true in this assumption?
Yeah, it is.
So existence means uniqueness and uniqueness is true?
Uniqueness is true. And existence, actually, we don't even know that the space of decompositions where we have existence is open. We don't have openness in the, it's actually there's some sort of interesting complications there. But no. Yeah, exactly. We have different signs. Right. So it's the automorphism group of X as a complex manifold. Sort of when we... I'm not sure I understand the question.
Otherwise it's just false. Uniqueness is just false if the automorphism from Q.
Yeah, exactly. If we would have...
Uniqueness up to automorphism transformation.
So, okay, so I'll get to that now. I'll do theorem C now, which is considered with the uniqueness in the general case, and you get what you expect. You get uniqueness up to automorphism, or up to infinitesimal automorphism, whatever, up to holomorphic vector fields. Yeah.
Even on P1, the uniqueness is up to vector transformation.
Yeah, exactly. So the next theorem then, let X be Fano and omega I and omega I dot be coupled Keller-Einstein tuple such that they define the same class or the same decomposition of the canonical bundle. Then there is an automorphism F. So it's an automorphism in the identity component of the automorphism group, such that we get one of these tuples by just pulling back the other one. So then in particular, if this is trivial, we have uniqueness. Okay. Then any yes, it does, yeah. Biased.
It cannot be trivial.
No, it's not. And whereas it's so it's based on but we're doing it with Berntson's convexity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Which unique is automorphism group of Stockholm?
I don't... If the automorphism group is compact, I don't know. I can say that
I think it's fundamental does, right?
It's sort of unique if and only if you don't have any holomorphic vector fields. I don't know how that corresponds to compactness of the automorphism. Right.
So the group of holomorphic vectors destination is
Yeah. So let's see what I'm doing with time. Did I start half? So I got 20 minutes left? Yeah, cool. So what I'm gonna do then is Well, yeah, but yeah, good to hear. I will speak until the room is empty.
There's a private seminar in that room, which held this rule and proposed accountability. And once it was like until 10:30 or 5, and the room by then there were like 2 people.
Okay, yeah. But I hope this won't happen here. Yeah, I would be competing with the dinner then, I suppose.
Right. There's the next.
There is something else on the schedule, yeah?
Yeah, there's something else on the schedule.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna write down a corollary of theorem A, which sort of present a slightly different point of view on these things, and then I will say something about so we get from these Kähler-Einstein, from these equations. I erased them now, but we get, as expected, we get Monge-Ampere equations, or we get a system of Monge-Ampere equations. So I will write them down, and I will also say something about the variational approach, because there is an analog of the Ding functional in this setting. And then, depending on if there is any time, I will say something about existence in the general Fano case and case stability. And then, I would start, so that's it. So we'll see how far I get on that. Right. Yeah, I think I'll erase everything. Okay, so corollary A is so